So, Prabhuji and Mataji, thank you so much for being in the Katha. As you know, the chastity is a great virtue in the devotion service. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Mam cha yo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. That Mam cha yo avyabhicharena. Avyabhichara. This word is very important. And I believe in the Bhagavad Gita, this is the only verse where this word has been used. But this word has got a very significant meaning. Vyabhichar, we know Vyabhichar means it is used in the context of a prostitute. The prostitute, she does not stick to one person, rather she keeps changing the person. And if any woman does it or if any man does it, it's called a Vyabhichar. And in case of Krishna, if we don't have the chastity and devotion service, then Krishna will also reciprocate in the same degree. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sateva bhajamyam. So the chastity in the devotion service is very important. We know the example of Anusuya Devi. Anusuya, she is known for her chastity. And she was the wife of Atri Muni. And once Lord Vishnu, Brahmaji and Shiva, they wanted to test her chastity. So they all approached her and begged for charity. And she was happy to give the charity, but they proposed one. They said that this charity will be subject to one condition, that she has to come without clothes, and then only she can give the charity and they will accept the charity. And she was in a difficult position. She cannot accept the condition as well as she cannot deny giving the charity to the people who have been standing at the door. So due to her chastity, she got an idea and she converted all those three, the gods or the demigods, like Vishnu is Krishna himself. So she converted all of them into the small kids of just like newborn babies, and then she came without clothes and gave them the charity. And then all three were very pleased and they asked for the boon, and then she said that if you want to give me any boon, I want all three of you to become my son. And after that, Lord Dattatreya was born. So this is a very small incident which shows that the chastity of anyone, it can be either man or woman, has got a lot of power, a lot of strength. So similarly in the devotion service also, the chastity has got a lot of power and it gives us a lot of strength. In the Bhagavad Gita 8th chapter, Lord Krishna says, Ananya cheta satatam yomam smarti nityasha tasyaham sulbha partha nitya yuktasya ayogina. So there Krishna says Ananya cheta satatam yomam smarti nityasha. Krishna says Ananya cheta. Ananya cheta again means the mind should not go anywhere. Like a chaste woman's mind is always thinking how to please her husband, and she won't think about anybody other than her husband. She won't think about any bhoga. She won't think of any sense enjoyment, nothing. Everything, whatever her thoughts, whatever her actions, whatever feelings are there, everything for the husband. That's the quality of a chaste woman. Ananya cheta satatam, and this quality should be manifested all the time. Satatam means the moment you get up in the morning until you sleep, until you are in the sound sleep and keep remembering the Lord, that's a sign of chastity. And our scripture says, and even acharyas have said, that just before you sleep, you remember Krishna, or while remembering Krishna, you go into the sleep, and as soon as you get up, the first thing you remember is Krishna. Then the entire period of your sleep is considered the devotion service, or it's considered as if you are offering the obeisances to the Lord. Ananya cheta satatam yomam smarti nityasha. Now satatam and nityasha both are different. Satatam, as I explained, since you get up in the morning until you are in the sound sleep, remember the Krishna, that's a satatam. Nityasha, this thing has to be done every day, the day you heard until your last breath. And if you do this thing, then Krishna says, Tasyaham sulabha partha, that I am very easy to be obtained. So it's interesting, Krishna says, I am very easy to be obtained here. But in another verse, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanvanamam Prapadyate, Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. So there Krishna says that it's very difficult to find a devotee who thinks Krishna is the cause of all causes, or the devotee who has a full chastity unto Krishna. In Ramayana, we know the several characters. We know about Lord Rama, we know about we know about Mother Sita, we know about Hanumanji, Lakshmanji. All these characters, they came to give us some teachings through their pastimes. And we know about Lord Rama. Lord Rama is known as Ek Patni Vratadhara. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 9th canto, chapter number 10, verse number 54. This chapter's second last verse, the qualities of Lord Rama has been given. Lord Rama has got unlimited qualities, but of those qualities, the few qualities which have been mentioned in this verse, it says Ek Patni Vratadhara, that he had taken a vow not to accept any other woman other than Sita, her wife, or not to accept a second wife. And then he was a Rajarshi, he was a saint more than a king, a Shuchi, he was very much clean in his thoughts. And another thing, Swadharmam Graha Mediyam Sikshayan Svayam Acharat. And Lord Rama, the most important thing he did, he taught by his own examples, and taught to whom? Graha Medi. Graha Medi means Grahasthas. So he taught people or Grahasthas like us how to lead our life. How can a person be an ideal king? How can a person be an ideal husband, ideal father, and ideal friend, ideal brother? And the next verse, the qualities of Sita Mata have been described. And it's a beautiful verse. The verse says, I'm going to read the verse and equivalents and translation and the purport to express our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada, because if Srila Prabhupada was not there, then I'm sure most of us would not have been connected to the Lord. So we should always try to read a verse from the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, or any other book which is written by the Srila Prabhupada, go through the equivalents, translation, and the purport. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nishtiki Premana Nuvrattaya Shilena Prashaya Vanata Sati Bhiya Hriya Cha Bhavagya Bhartu Sita Haran Manaha. Premana Anuvrattya, because of service rendered to the husband with love and faith, Shilena, by such good character, Prashraya Avanata, always very submissive and ready to satisfy the husband, Sati, chaste, Bhiya, by being afraid, Hriya, by shyness, Cha, also, Bhavagya, understanding the attitude of the husband, Bhartuhu, of her husband, Lord Ramchandra. Mother Sita was very submissive, faithful, shy and chaste, always understanding the attitude of her husband. Thus, by her character and her love and service, she completely attracted the mind of the Lord. Purport: as Lord Ramchandra is the ideal husband, Ek Patni Vrata, Mother Sita is the ideal wife. Such a combination makes family life very happy. Yad yad acharati sreshtas tad tad eve taro janaha. Whatever example a great man sets, common people follow. If the kings, the leaders, and the brahmanas, the teachers would set forth the examples we receive from Vedic literature, the entire world would be heaven. Indeed, there would be no longer be hellish conditions within this material world. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So in this verse, a number of qualities of Sita Mata have been described, and we don't have the time to glorify Mother Sita by discussing all those qualities. So of all those qualities, we will discuss one quality of Mother Sita, which is the chastity. And Sanskrit it is called sati. So when we say chastity, the chastity word has got several dimensions. And the very first aspect of chastity is that we should be attached to the Lord and not to Lord's energy. As we know, just a few hours before, Lord Rama was informed by Dashrath Maharaj that he will have to go to the forest and Bharat Maharaj will become the king. And when Lord Rama heard this thing, he was not disturbed at all. He simply folded his hands and immediately went to his mother and informed her mother that my father has given me a bigger kingdom. My father has made me the king of the forest. And after that, Lord Rama goes to see Mother Sita, and Mother Sita is wondering that just now I saw my Lord. She was very much enthusiastic. She was very much happy. And now he is very much calm and grave. But we should not think that Lord Rama was unhappy, because these things cannot affect the Lord. But Lord Rama was calm and grave because now he had to face his devotee, which is Mother Sita. So Lord Rama mentions to Sita that this is the news. He has to go to the forest, and he instructs Mother Sita that you continue to stay in Ayodhya and serve the parents. And another thing, you should not talk about me in front of Bharat Maharaj. And Lord Rama says this thing because Kshatriyas have got a natural ego, and another thing, Kshatriya feels insecure. So Lord Rama did not want Bharat Maharaj to feel insecure, although this was not the case. But Lord Rama was so much cautious in his behavior, in his thoughts. So he advised Mother Sita that you do not talk about me in front of Bharat Maharaj. And Mother Sita, she was very much shocked. First of all, she did not expect the news that her husband would have to go to the forest. And more than this, she did not expect that she would be expected to stay in Ayodhya. And Lord Rama could understand her mind. And then Lord Rama started giving her an account of the miseries she would have to face if she goes to the forest. And that point, and Lord Rama says that if you come along with me in the forest is very hot. You will not get a good place to stay. You will not get the good food to eat. You will not have the good cloth to wear. The whole forest is filled with ferocious animals. So it will be very painful for you to stay in the forest. And Mother Sita was quietly hearing it. And then she started responding to Lord Rama very humbly. And it's a long episode given in the Ramcharitmanas. And even in Valmiki Ramayana, this episode has been given, that how Mother Sita is trying to convince Lord Rama that without you, everything would be hell, would be like a hellish condition. And even then, Lord Rama wanted her to stay in Ayodhya, because Lord Rama did not want her pure devotee to come and suffer along with him. But Mother Sita, she was very much determined to be with the Lord. And when Lord Rama did not accept her proposal, or was not willing to take her to forest, then finally she used her weapon, the last weapon, where she said that I am so unfortunate that my father married me to a Kshatriya who cannot take care of his wife in the forest. So when Lord Rama heard this statement, he was very much happy. And that point of time, he tells Mother Sita that I just want you to test that you want to come along with me as an obligation, as an eagerness to be with me. So from this episode, we can understand that Mother Sita had one-pointed attention to the Lord, not to the Lord's energies. When I say energy means anything other than Krishna is the energy. In this material world or even the spiritual world, there are only two things. Either Krishna or anything other than Krishna is his energy. Anything you can think of other than Krishna is his energy. When we chant Hare Krishna, many times we say that Hare Krishna includes everything. And how does it include everything? Hare means Radharani, which is the source of all the energies, and Krishna means Krishna. So when we chant Hare Krishna includes the Lord himself, and other than the Lord's energies are included in these two words. That's why these two words has got immense potency and covers everything in the material and spiritual worlds. Mother Sita had all the opportunities to continue to stay in Ayodhya. Dasharatha Maharaj wanted her to stay in Ayodhya. Kaushalya Mata wanted her to stay in Ayodhya. Even Lord Rama wanted her to stay in Ayodhya. But she rejected everything. It's like, Kaurav, Pandav. We know the episode of Kaurav and Pandav. Before the Kurukshetra battle started, Krishna offered Kauravas and Pandavas that either you can take me or you can take my Sena. Krishna says, if you take me, you cannot take my army, or if you take my army, I will not be there. And that time we know that Arjuna opted for Krishna and Duryodhana, she opted for Krishna's energies. And we know what happened at the end of the battle. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanudhara. So wherever Krishna is there, all his energies would follow. And that's what Mother Sita did. She opted for Krishna, not for Krishna's energies. Or she opted for Lord Rama and rejected all the energies, means all the opulences of Ayodhya. She rejected. And more than this, what she did not protest when she got to know her husband has to go to the forest. She did not condemn, instigate her husband to go and ask for his right. If there was an ordinary woman in the Kali Yuga, then we all know that she would have immediately protested. She would have immediately gone to the father-in-law and said, what is this nonsense? She would have gone to Kekai and she would have condemned Kekai. Or she would have instigated her husband that why don't you ask your right, this is your right to be the king. But Mother Sita did not do any of these things because her attention, her one-pointed attention was just to be with the Lord, not be with the Lord's energies. So this is the first point we understand in the context of chastity in devotion service, that we should be attached to the Lord, not to the Lord's energies. It may be either material energy or it may be the spiritual energy. If it is without the Lord, then we don't want it. The second aspect of chastity in devotion service, it means that we accept life's adversities without any complaints and grudges. When we read Ramcharitmanas, when we read Valmiki Ramayana, we understand, we get to know the opulences or the luxuries and comforts what Mother Sita had. Mother Sita never kept her foot on the floor. Either she would be on a bed, or if she has to get out from the bed, she would be in the palanquin. And if at all she has to walk on the floor, she would be wearing the golden sandals. Her body was so soft that even the softest leaf falls on her body, that portion of the body would turn into red. She was so beautiful that in the material world, the people who have the eyes and they have to blink the eyes, they would curse Brahmaji that why he made the eyes which need to blink. Means she was so beautiful that anybody looked at Mother Sita, they did not want to close the eyes, even for the moment which is taken for the eyes to blink. And the demigods who don't have to blink the eyes, they would also curse Brahmaji because Brahmaji has given them only 2 eyes. And demigods wanted millions of eyes to have the continuous darshan of Mother Sita. So that kind of comforts, luxuries, and Mother Sita had when she appeared in this world. But we know within no time everything changed. Everything changed. She was a queen, meant to stay in the palace. But from palace to what? Palace to not even a villa, not even a house. It's just simply homelessness. Many times we hear that, okay, person was rich, now he's become poor. So far as the criteria, okay, when he was rich, he was staying in a very big palatial villa. Now the person has moved to a smaller house, smaller apartment. But in case of Mother Sita, it was not even a smaller apartment. It was simply a homeless situation. When they left Ayodhya, they did not know where they are going to stay. So it's a homeless situation. But Mother Sita, she accepted all these adversities very gracefully. Very gracefully. And that's all about Ramayana. The Ramayana tells us how to accept the adversities in our life with dignity and grace. And we can do it only when we are attached to the Lord, when we have one-pointed attention to the Lord. And Mother Sita, since she had one-pointed attention to the Lord, she got the strength to face the adversities in the life. When we are faced with adversities in the life, we need the strength for 2 reasons. Whenever we are faced with adversities, we have the 2 options. Either we can do something about it, or we cannot do anything about it. So when we can do something about an adversity, to address adversity, then we need the strength to act. And if we cannot do anything about the adversity, then we need the strength to accept the adversity. So in either case, we need the strength to act or to accept the adversity. And Mother Sita had unlimited strength to act as well as accept the adversities. We know that when Marichi was carrying, Marichi was, Marichi abducted. Ravana, when he was carrying Mother Sita in the plane. Although Mother Sita was faced very difficult situation, but even in that situation, she did something. She acted upon it. She did not simply rely on the Lord. She was remembering the Lord, but at the same time, while she was remembering the Lord, she was doing her own karma, or I mean to say, she continued to do what was in her capacity. So this is another thing we can learn from Mother Sita, that when we are faced with an adversity, we should try to do whatever we can do in according to our strength. Of course, we have to depend on the Krishna, but depending on the Krishna does not mean that we do not perform our duties. And if we do that, then surely Krishna will come and help us. So now from this episode, we can understand that Mother Sita accepted the adversity, the very first adversity, that she had to go to the forest, from the palatial house to the homelessness situation. And even in that circumstance, she continued to remain chaste to the Lord, and she accepted these adversities very gracefully with dignity. The third aspect of charity is that we continue to remember the Lord even if we are separated from the Lord. We know in the 14th year of exile, Sita Mata was abducted by Ravana. It was in the beginning of the 14th year. Sita Mata was kidnapped by Ravana. And Ravana took Mother Sita around that golden city Sri Lanka to woo her to the opulence of Lanka. But Mother Sita was not attached to anything. So finally, Ravana kept her in Ashok Vatika, and Ravana deployed two kinds of Rakshasis, the good Rakshasis and bad Rakshasis. Rakshasas are always bad, but good Rakshas in the sense who will try to convince Sita Mata by projecting the comforts or the opulence that she would enjoy if she accepts Ravana's proposal. And the other side, bad Rakshasis would threaten Mother Sita with all the difficulties she would have to face if she doesn't accept Ravana's proposal. And another thing, Ravana would come every day morning to Mother Sita, and he would tell Mother Sita that you have got a year time to accept my proposal or I am going to kill you. So see, now Mother Sita was tortured by Rakshasis, threatened by Ravana to be killed, and on the top of it, she did not have any news of Lord Rama for many months when she was in Ashok Vatika. And on the top of it, her purpose of coming to the forest was lost. She decided to come to the forest only for one reason, that I want to be with my Lord. So when she was separated by Ravana from her Lord and she was kept in Ashok Vatika, even the purpose was also lost. And the worst thing was what happens is that when she was in Ashok Vatika for several months until she meets with Hanumanji, there was nobody to talk about her Lord. If a husband gets separated from the wife, so there is a pain of separation. A wife gets separated from the husband, there is a pain of separation. But imagine the husband or wife is staying in a place where he or she cannot talk about her husband or wife, or there is nobody to talk about the husband or wife or about the beloved one. So what will be the condition? It will be so painful. It will be so painful. So Mother Sita had undergone that kind of situation, that she was abducted, she was persecuted, she was threatened. There was no news of the Lord. Her purpose of coming to the forest was also lost. And on the top of it, the worst pain she suffered, that there was nobody with whom she can talk about the Lord, or there was nobody who can talk to her about the Lord. That means there was no sadhu sangha. There was no Shravanam Kirtanam. And that is a Shravanam Kirtanam, as we know, that's the life of a devotee. When Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, in the seed verses, the second seed verse, Bodhyanta Prasparam, Katyanta Shamam Tushyam Nityanti Cha Ramanti Cha, Ya Machita Madgad Prana, that the lives of my devotees are dedicated unto me. Machita Madgad Prana, Bodhyanta Parasparam, Katyanta Shamam Tushyam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. So many times we don't understand what is the meaning of that verse. It's a very deep meaning. Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha, that if we don't get anybody to talk about the Lord or anybody to hear, there is no Shravanam Kirtanam, then it's worse than hell. Gopis have said in Gopika Geetam, Tava Katha Mritam Krishna tapta jivanam. Tapta jivanam, that if anybody who is burning, then Krishna Katha, the glories of Krishna, is like a nectar. See, the gopis, they were also separated from Krishna. Radharani was also separated from Krishna. And here, Mother Sita was also separated from Lord Rama. But there is a big difference between the gopi separation and Mother Sita separation. When gopis got separated from Krishna, still they were together. Still there was sadhu sangha. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam it is given that when Krishna disappeared from their side, immediately they started singing the glories of Krishna. They started enacting the pastimes of Krishna. And Srimad Bhagavatam says that with these few things, they were able to bear the separation from the Lord. They were able to get some relief from the pain of separation from the Lord. But in case of Sita Mata, imagine, for several months, there was no Shravanam Kirtanam. She was just alone and alone and alone. And even in that situation, she continued to remember the Lord. So Prabhuji Mataji, then we should remember that we never know what situation we may have to face in the future. But whatever a situation we are in, we should endeavor that we continue to remember the Lord. And that's a sign of chastity to the Lord. And if we do that, then certainly the Lord will never forget. There may be some delay, like in case of Lord Rama. It took him a while to reach Sri Lanka. But that does not mean Lord Rama had forgotten his devotee. So this is the third aspect of chastity. The fourth aspect of chastity is accept the order of the Lord as it is without any deviation. And when we say accepting the order of the Lord, it does not mean that read Bhagavad Gita every day, read Srimad Bhagavatam every day, chant 16 rounds, offer bhoga. That's all fine, That's there. That has to be done. But here the order of the Lord is something like when Mother Sita was asked to undergo Agni Pariksha. We know that after Lord Rama killed Ravana, Sita Mata was released and everybody was happy. But to everyone's surprise, Lord Rama said, I won't accept Sita until she proves her chastity. So we cannot imagine how much pain Mother Sita would have suffered when she was asked to prove her chastity. She was a chaste woman. Chaste woman means we can't compare her chastity with anyone else. She was completely a pure devotee. Never ever she thought of anyone other than Lord Rama, even in her dreams. And even then, she was asked to prove her chastity. So can we imagine how much humiliating situation would have been for Mother Sita? But without any question, without any argument, without any grudges, she accepted the order of the Lord and she underwent the Agni Pariksha. Why? Because she was completely chaste to the husband. So this is another aspect on the devotion service, that if we are chaste to Krishna and the Guru, then we should be prepared to accept their orders, even if those orders bring us in a very humiliating situation. And the fifth aspect of the chastity is that we do not abandon the Lord, even if Lord abandons us. We know that at some point, finally, Lord reaches Ayodhya. Everybody celebrated Lord Rama's, Mother Sita's arrival. And after Lord Rama was enthroned, just within few days, he heard a washerman was whispering about Lord Rama and Mother Sita. And immediately he decided to leave Sita Mata. And he instructed Lakshmana to take Mother Sita to the forest and leave her over there. And Mother Sita, she did not know that why she was being taken to the forest. Once she was in the forest, Lakshmana, he informed her that Lord Rama has abandoned her for the rest of the life. And we all know that even in that point of time, although she was faultless, she did not object. She simply accepted Lord's wish and carried on for the rest of the life without complaining anything about the Lord. Ashalishya va padratam pinashtumam adarshanan marmahatam karotuva. Every day we chant this verse, even I chant this verse. But this verse cannot be chanted by everybody. There are only two people, the two personalities who can chant this verse with the right mood. The one is Radharani, Mother Sita, or the second is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When we chant this verse, we can simply, for their mercy, that we can also get the mood of Mother Sita or Radharani when they were separated from the Lord and how they remembered the Lord. So, Prabhuji Mataji, we can talk a lot more about it, but we don't have enough time. But finally, we should remember that when we perform the devotion service, whatever situation we are in, it's like a golok, and we are performing devotion service in that condition. We have a shelter, we have a house to live in. It may be 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. We have the Japamala, we have the books, we have the people around us, we have the sadhu sangha, we have all these things to perform the devotion service. And even then we don't perform the devotion service, then we are very much unfortunate. And the second thing, we should not complain about the things what we are missing to perform the devotion service. Sita Mata, since she was chaste to the Lord, she continued to perform the devotion service. As I mentioned from the beginning, if you see that very first thing, she from the palace to the homeless situation. As soon as she got married, her husband lost the kingdom, and from the palace to the homelessness situation, where she continued to remember the Lord. She went to the forest, 13 years in the forest, 14th year. She thought, okay, now this is the last year. But she did not know, just being in the 14th year, how much sufferings are going to come in the coming months. She continued to suffer in the Ashok Vatika. And when she was released from Ashok Vatika, she thought, okay, now finally we are going to go to Ayodhya. But she did not know that Agni Pariksha is going to come and she has to face a humiliating situation. She faced that situation, reached Ayodhya. She thought, okay, now it's everything is done. Now we can continue to live happily for the rest of the life. But she did not know this thing is not going to last for more than a few days. And just within a few days, she was left alone in the forest. So throughout her life, Mother Sita continued to face one after other, adversities. But despite that situation, she did not give up the shelter of the Lord. And that is chastity. In the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 26, Mamcha yo avabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. When Prabhupada translates this verse, Prabhupada says, one who performs the devotion service unfailing in all circumstances. One who performs devotion service, unfailing, in all circumstances. And I never understood the meaning of unfailing. And even now I believe I have not understood the meaning. But by going through the pastimes of Mother Sita, we can understand what is the meaning of unfailing. She never ever failed to remember the Lord, no matter what adversities she had to face. So that's all, Prabhuji Mataji, I wanted to share with you. Thank you very much for being in the Katha. And I think I have taken about an hour, and we have finished the time. But Shamchandra Prabhu, if we have a few minutes, then any devotee has got any questions or comments, realization, we can take up, Prabhu.
I like one point, Prabhuji, I want to speak that in the lecture, I really like that in any circumstances, either it's a favorable, non-favorable, we are in rich condition or the poor condition, we have the facility, we don't have the facility. We should always don't forget Krishna and practice our devotional service. Like Sita Mata, he was used to live in a palace like a queen, but without in the situation of the homeless situation as well, she never rendered service unto the Lord Ramachandra. So this one point I really liked in this katha. I would like to implement and pray to Lord and you Vaishnava to implement in my life. Thank you.
And Prabhu, it's not about simply favorable and unfavorable. We should remember the word adversity. Adversity is much worse than the unfavorable situation, right? Unfavorable means you lost a job or moved from a bigger place to a smaller place, or from a four-wheel car to the small car or no car, and right? That's all. That's an unfavorable situation. But adversities is like what Mother Sita faced. So we should remember that even in a very, very adverse situation, we should continue to remember the Lord. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you.
Prabhuji,
Yeah, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, just a little doubt regarding this adversities. This adversities comes due to non-perform of the devotional services, or the adversities are already fixed in our faith because of our previous karma?
Yeah, Prabhu, the adversities are when we take our birth because we have the account of the karma, we have the account of previous birth's karmas, and those karmas need to be settled in this birth or maybe many more births. And when we start performing the devotion service, we have to face those karmas, but the effect of those karmas on us is very lesser. And Prabhupada would always give an example of cat. That cat carries a rat in the mouth, and cat carries even the kitten in the mouth. But when cat is carrying a rat, the rat is always fearful of losing the life. But when a kitten is being carried by a cat, the mouth is same, but the kitten is not feared of being in the mouth or in the mid of the sharp teeth, because kitten knows that I am protected by my mother. So that's the difference, Prabhu, the sufferings of a devotee and sufferings of a non-devotee. Either we are a devotee or a non-devotee, we have to face the sufferings according to our karma. But once we get into the devotion service, then we get much more strength to face those adversities and continue to remember the Lord, and finally go back to Krishna's Loka. Yeah, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Anup here. It was a very nice, wonderful class, Prabhuji. There was one takeaway from the Katha. I could able to realize that, as you said, Sita Mata, even she was there in Ashok Vatika, like without any sangha and nobody, no kirtan and nothing for the glories of God. But she was not even a moment that she forget about the Lord. And that is the mood. I mean, we should pray, at least if we are at any situation, that we should not be able to forget the Lord. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for that realization.
Yeah, Prabhu, this is the point which I like very much. The difference between the separation of gopis and the separation of Mother Sita. In case of gopis, they had at least the devotees around them. Sadhu Sangha was there. But in case of Mother Sita, there was nobody to speak or hear about the Lord. So that is the worst condition, worst situation for a devotee, and even in that situation, she continued to remember the Lord. Yeah, so thank you, Prabhu, for reminding us that point. Thank you so much.
Yeah, unless until we are not attached with real love, it may not be possible.
Yes, Prabhu. So that's the point, that if we have the love, you are right, So unless we love the Lord, we will not be able to remember her. Yes, thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Svayam Sphuraty Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful class and for your time and the association. Keep blessing and shower your mercy on us in the future. So we will continue with the class where you end in the different session as well. I will update you for the next slot, or we will collaborate with each other regarding this. So let's chant the Vaishnava Pranam mantra, and I hope the class will be end here as per the time. Vancha kalpatru bhyascha kripa sindhu vahi evacha Itanam pavan vayo Sri Vaishnave vayo namo namaha. Anand Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bo.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Hare.